What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome back to another Marvel's Avengers video here on the YouTube channel. And today we are talking about another MCU tie-in. Now this will be a commentary video and it will be an opinion piece, so please don't be expecting any news coming from this video, but I did want to talk about something really cool. So, Game Rant posted an article talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and how that could tie into Marvel's Avengers. And I wanted to talk about something very similar in today's video. So, as we know, Jane Foster is coming out around Thor Love and Thunder. At least that's the prediction, right? Around June time to tie in with the movie. Despite them saying that's probably not the reason, it does seem very suspicious on the closeness, so I'm just going to assume that it is meant to capitalize on the MCU, hype around Jane Foster. So we're going to do the same thing with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Now, when that film comes out around November time, I think Marvel's Avengers would benefit from capitalizing even harder on it, given the huge Black Panther and Wakanda presence in the game currently. What I would do, first of all, is I would have Shuri as a playable character. Now, obviously, she can be a little bit different. She can use sonic blasters, similar to what she does in the MCU, which could give her inbuilt Sonic instead of Vibranium like her brother, but besides that, I would pretty much keep everything the exact same, very similar to Jane Foster. I would have different heroics, but probably keep all the moves very similar, maybe just make them a little bit faster, given that Shuri is obviously much more limber. As we know, in the game, she has become the Queen of Wakanda, right? While her brother has gone off to do more Black Panther things around the world. So it would be pretty interesting to see another war in Wakanda that Shuri has to suit up and handle herself. Now, here comes the much biggest part of this. So, industry insider Charles Murphy of Murphy's Multiverse has revealed that Namor, the leader of the underwater nation of Atlantis, is going to be the primary antagonist of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So let's talk a little bit about the potential of Namor and Atlantis in Marvel's Avengers. So, fighting through Wakanda wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, right? The jungle biome is definitely one of my favourite places in the game to go to. But new locations could be added that let players fight through the city maybe, stuff like that, maybe advance Wakanda a bit. But in order to see a brilliant new region coming to the game, I would love to see them capitalise on Atlantis. And Atlantis would be amazing, as it would be a major departure from the game's current locations and would surely get some eyes back on Marvel's Avengers just due to its uniqueness. And I think the best thing about this is that Marvel's Avengers already have underwater areas. If you remember some of the AIM bases you're able to go through, there's like tunnel areas. There's even a bit of it in the Cosmic Cube where you're kind of underwater and stuff. If you make those areas look a lot more fancier, then you already pretty much have your Atlantis built, and I think that that would be really sweet. The developer could even model its version of Atlantis off the one that is rumored to be appearing in Wakanda Forever. Obviously we know they have somewhat of a relationship with Marvel Studios, given the skins and stuff like that, so it would be really cool to see. But obviously Avengers still like doing things their own way, so maybe they wouldn't go for that. But Atlanteans could serve as a new enemy faction too, having unique fighting style, having fresh abilities, or, if you don't have time to do that, they could still just be somewhat structured versions of claw enemies. That would still be fine by me. Obviously their animations would have to be somewhat different because they are two different kind of beasts, right? But I think that this game definitely needs more enemy types. They're just fighting aim bots, and I think that Atlanteans would be pretty sweet, you know what I mean? Claw mercenaries were a step in the right direction, but I think if you're going to tie in Atlantis, it has to be Atlanteans. You have to acknowledge that they are there and they are going to fight. And Marvel's Avengers, one thing it definitely needs is more boss fights. And considering that, Charles Murphy said right there that Namor the Submariner would be the antagonist of that movie, it would make sense for him to be the antagonist of this huge event. For example, they could all be mind controlled, like sharks and squids, stuff like that, to attack the Avengers. That would be an insane boss battle, you know what I mean? And I think that Namor could be as unique as Monica from the Cosmic Cube, which people love running that, and I think that they would be obsessed with it. And I really do think that if Marvel's Avengers were able to do that, it would bring such hype to the game. Not only that, of course, we have to talk about the way to get the money from it, right? Because that would be the whole point of doing crossover appeal. So not only would I have all these things, I would also do a special nameplate event similar to what we saw with Hawkeye. Maybe you need to finish this Atlantean style fight or do a couple of things as Black Panther and potentially Shuri if she pops up. That would be really cool. Obviously, if Shuri did pop up into the game, you could do MCU skins for Shuri, or you could just do new, new outfits in general for Black Panther and Shuri, maybe an M'Baku outfit. That would be really sweet, and stuff like that. I definitely think that Marvel's Avengers, if they're going to go down the route of MCU tie-ins, they should go all out with it, and I think that this would be the perfect way to do that. Now, I know that everyone is going to be probably in the comments saying that this might be too ambitious. Now, I want it to be noted that when I say that I would love to see all of these things, and credit to Game Rant, because a lot of this is sort of ideas spawned from their article, I would indeed think that they could repurpose a lot of what's already in the game to make these environments, and then obviously if they wanted to spruce it up in the future and upgrade it to be a really 100% fleshed out area, they could absolutely do that, and I think that that would be really sweet as well. But let me know what you guys think about this style of MCU tie-in. Do you think it's possible for the game at all? Do you think they'll do it? And I will see you guys later for the weekly blog coverage.